Arts Council. Here's Brenda with Arts Weekly on Smooth Jazz 92.3 WAEG.
Go down in 5, 4.
Welcome to Arts Weekly, your guide to arts and entertainment in Augusta, GA and the areas around. Thanks for tuning in. I am Brenda Durant with the Greater Augusta Arts Council. In the next half hour, I'll pull back the curtain on art, artists, and people who work hard to make your playing easy. I am so excited today. My special guest is Benito Mountain, the Social Study Curriculum Specialist for Richmond County Schools. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm so glad you're here. We have so much to talk about. We had a great time in the green room in the Penthouse studio, Perry Broadcasting, and enjoying the gorgeous buffet that was served this morning and talking about all sorts of art topics and education. AugustaArts.com. And you can click on the calendar option and see a full calendar of arts events, even more than I had time to talk about. And we also have RSS feeds. You can find this radio show on the website and lots of useful information. I'm going to take a short break, and I will be back to talk to Benito Mountain about lots of art stuff. You're listening to Arts Weekly on Smooth Jazz 92.3 FM. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. If there's somewhere you want to go, you can kind of push me into it. All right?
Just give her a good old nudge.
Just, yeah, verbal nudge. I take them.
All right.
I'm bossy, but I can take a nudge.
All right, ready?
Yes.
Coming down to 5, 4.
Welcome back to Arts Weekly, your guide to arts and entertainment in Augusta, GA and the areas around. Joining me in this segment is Benito Mountain, our Social Studies Curriculum Specialist for the Richmond County Board of Education, but so much more. I mean, that really is a very limited package of all the things we want to talk about today. Andre was introduced to me by Karen Gordon. Karen was supposed to be on the show today, and last Friday when I went to our Artscape Camp show, Karen gave me her little girl oh no voice and said, I just realized I can't be on the show because I'm teaching at Artscape Camp. I like when people make connections like that prior to Thursday morning. So Andre is here, but you're not going to talk about candlelight jazz. We have lots of other things to talk about, though you do have a collaboration. Where do you want to start? I want to start with arts integration.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about that. That's something that's very, very important to us in the curriculum department. We work to integrate the arts in all the subjects. But this year I had the opportunity to work closely with Karen Gordon and Garden City Jazz, taking notes. We went to about 15 different schools, most of the schools in Richmond County, the high schools, and then we also visited some high schools outside of the county, sharing this innovative approach that came from the lab. There's done a lot of research on arts integration in the arts, and particularly on entry points, how teachers can connect history to jazz or to hip-hop.
Okay, so you did a program called Jazz and the American Story.
That's
and
correct.
You took that to high schools, geared at 11th grade, because that's when they study American history. Describe how the program would run. You have maybe a gym or an auditorium full of kids, and what happens?
Yeah, we bring the students to a large setting, usually a gym or auditorium, and we start talking to them about the key points in American history that appear in the curriculum. The Great Depression, the transatlantic slave trade. We talk about the Progressive Era, Jim Crow South. We also talk a lot about the Vietnam War, World War II, and just give them some ideas of how jazz played a key role in all those periods of American history. And not just the music itself, but sometimes the lives of the artists.
Right, right. So then, you start perhaps with the lecture.
Yes.
About 8 minutes, something like that.
About 7 or 8 minutes, because young people have a very short attention span.
That's right. It's longer than a text. It's too long. So then, what happens next?
All right. After that, I talk to them about 7 minutes or so, and then the jazz band would play a selection related to what the lecture was just about.
Okay.
So, for instance, I may talk to them about what was going on in the Jim Crow South, and I talk to them about the poet who wrote a poem called "Strange Fruit" that Billie Holiday stumbled upon and adapted it into a song, and then the band would play that selection, but they understand the context in which that song was created.
Wow, that's interesting. And then you said there's also a multimedia. There's a screen and a projector. So that's happening at the same time or separately, or
throughout the program.
There's projected.
There's a projected image of all of the things that I'm talking about, and then when the songs come on, the image of the artist or what the artist is talking about is up there, because students are increasingly visual. With all the iPads and computers and everything, teachers have to respond to that and adjust the way they present information. And that was really the whole point of the presentation, the model for teachers, how to present history information to a new generation, what we call the I generation.
Right. That's interesting. I have 2 questions. One, I have to say, more statement. I love learning with a timeline, which sounds like what you're doing.
Yes.
Where you're putting things in context at the same time, so they can picture perhaps the music that's playing, what's happening with the economy, that type of thing. I find that very interesting. But then the second thing is, whenever we write a grant now, the big key word for us is measurable. So what are you doing about that? Measurable. Are you testing before and after, or how are you? Because I know everything has to be quantified now, right, Andre?
That's correct. Everything you have to show what is the impact on student achievement.
Exactly.
But what we're doing is going out to schools after this and looking at how teachers plan differently. We're looking at the impact on student interest, and also trying to make sure that when teachers integrate this, that they have the support that they need, their materials that they need to support what they're doing. We can tap them and say, okay, we can get you this.
So you're really following up more with teaching styles, teachers, to make so if they decide they get excited, which I'm sure they do, by the interest in the kids in a multimedia performance, and then they decide a presentation, that's what they want to do, that they have the ability, the skills, and the support that they need to get that done.
That's correct. And we've even gone a step further. We're going to take notes again next year. But what we're doing differently this time is we are developing a curriculum to go along with it. So before we go to the school, the students can take a pre-test to see what they know already. Exactly. And then they come to the presentation and they'll take a post-assessment. And teachers can see how much knowledge they gain from this 90-minute experience.
Super. And that's how long the jazz presentation was, about 90 minutes?
About 90 minutes. Some places asked us to fit it into an hour, which we were able to do, but we prefer a 90-minute segment.
Neat. And then there's something else that you told me about that I had no idea about, was the summer program called the IDEA program.
That's correct.
Talk a little bit about that.
That's our interdisciplinary discovery enrichment academy. And the curriculum department collaborates on this, all the different areas, and we submit a curriculum and we bring teachers in from the regular schools, and they teach the summer program to about 850 students.
Wow.
And it's free. And students just apply and they get a chance to just see how space exploration, flight, and all of these things converge. And they have an arts program. They also are learning foreign language this year as well.
Really? During the summer?
During the summer, yes.
And that's elementary. What grade is that at?
These are rising 4th and 5th graders.
Such a difficult time too. That's so wonderful. And where are they taught?
Well, we have sites at Garrett, Diamond Lakes, also at Glen Hills High School, and W.S. Hornsby.
And we did not talk about this in the deluxe green room, but are they bused or do they have to have transportation?
They are bused.
That's incredible. And you said it's free.
It is free.
What a gift. That's wonderful. And that's a Richmond County Schools program. That is really amazing. And then I also saw when I was told you were coming, and I was sent some links, that you did like a spoken word piece at a community unveiling. Maybe it was the Bethlehem unveiling. Talk about that part of you.
Well, I used to be a spoken word artist. I used to do quite a few spoken word events downtown Augusta around 2007, 2008. And I was asked to write a piece specifically for the Bethlehem Lane Walker area. And so Lisa Williams from the city of Augusta contacted me, and I told her, give me about a month or so to put something together, because I really wanted it to reflect the history of that area.
It was beautiful.
Well, thank you very much.
I loved it, and we have a troubadour stage at Arts in the Heart for spoken word artists, and I hope you'd consider coming in this year. Even that piece would be a beautiful, what a tribute to Augusta. I just loved it. What else was on our list to talk about? Oh, I wanted to talk about you. This is the pull back the curtain part, because when I read about you, you didn't take a direct route from college into the classroom.
No, I went through a program called the TAP program, which is an alternative preparation program. My career prior to being an educator was in the world of finance, and I worked in the World Financial Center, some people know it as World Trade Center, and my office moved about 5 or 6 months prior to 9/11. My office moved to Jersey City.
From the World Trade Center.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And so where were you on September 11th?
On September 11th, I was in Jersey City, New Jersey, about 500 yards from the World Trade Center, watching over the Hudson River, watching as the buildings burned. And it was just a pivotal moment for me in my career and just in my development as a young man, because I realized that whatever you do, whatever you're doing, you need to be passionate about it, and it needs to be something where you have an opportunity to share your gifts. Because all of us are here to leave a legacy, and that legacy could be helping someone develop beautiful music, it could be helping a child learn to read, it could be painting beautiful pictures, but it's about legacy. Life is not about amassing as much money as you can, because that leads you ultimately empty.
So you told me the very next day you quit your job in New York.
I resigned the next day, and I flew home on September 28th, got the earliest flight I could out of Newark. Came home and entered into the TAP program to become an elementary teacher, specifically because I wanted to work with young people and help them learn how to read. Now, I had a degree in history, and I very easily could.
You had a degree in history and you were doing finance in New York City.
I did.
Interesting career right there. Okay, so that's why you're not teaching math.
Exactly.
Okay.
But you end up where you belong.
That's right.
And working in social studies right now with a degree in history and a background working with young children, it's just a wonderful mix of opportunity.
So did you you grew up in Statesboro?
No, Swainsboro.
Swainsboro, with some time in Augusta.
Yes.
Prior. Then went to Wesleyan and got for the TAP program?
I went to Georgia Southern.
Georgia Southern.
And then later I attended Wesleyan for a master's in early childhood.
Okay. And then was Richmond County your next move?
No, I taught in Bibb County for a while. I taught in
what city is Bibb? Oh, that's
Macon.
Macon. Okay.
Yes.
Only in Georgia is it always the county. Okay. All right. So you're in Macon, and now you're here, and I'm so glad that you're here. Now, is there anything we didn't talk about that you wanted to talk about?
Let's see.
And what you do for fun? Andre does have fun. He fishes. Is that right?
I love to fish.
There you go.
And this is the perfect time, summertime. I'm planning some fishing trips.
Good. All right. I hope you'll come back. I hope you'll let me know when your shows happen, because I do want to come and see Jazz and the American Story next year in high school, and I'd love to come visit the idea program as well. So I hope you'll keep us in the loop about that. Thank you so much for being on Arts Weekly.
Thank you.
And I'm going to take a short break, and we'll be back with a look into the future. You're listening to Arts Weekly on Smooth Jazz 92.3.